Tottenham win today. Hang on. Hello, what we got there? Right, we start again. Tottenham beat Morecambe 3-1 today. Players not playing well. Conte furious. What's Levy going to do? You find out in a minute here on Tottenham Tantrum Gold. Hi and good evening, welcome to Tottenham Tantrum Gold, your home at classic games, classic content and classic debate. Tonight we're going to look back at the Tottenham Hotspur vs Morecambe FA Cup third round. We're going to dissect that for a while, we're going to dissect the players, dissect what Levy and Paratici have to do and who Conte wants to bring in. There is a lot of bad feeling towards certain things or subjects, so hopefully tonight we will bring them out in this forum, and of course we will get your comments up on screen and discuss them. This show is by the fans, for you fans, that's why we make this programme. Beside me tonight's my usual two co-hosts. Next down below is a man who goes to Hollywood every weekend to hang out with Adele and get his Academy Award for Best Supporting Drinker. He's my mate, he's your mate, he really is Matt Letizier's brother. It's Phil. How are you, Phil?
Yeah, normal after a day like today, but yeah, all good. Happy to be online now.
And next to me is my co-host who's on me on every stream. He's on the morning stream with me. He's like my twin brother, but he does scare the Undertaker. If he was to walk into Levy's office, Levy would run out screaming going, "Help!" It's my mate, it's all your mate, it's everyone's mate. It's Coover99. How are you, Coover, this evening?
Doing well here, thanks, Dermot. After a cracking win and top-rated performance, how can you not be in a good mood? Bring it on.
What shit were you watching?
Emmerdale.
Right, yeah, probably. Right, do you want to bring up the comment series in, Phil? We've got Adam Clark. Good evening, Adam, Tottenham and Torn. Congratulations to them for reaching 2,000 subs today, so congratulations. So Adam, big up. He says, you bring that back up, Phil. Our team, our B team is actually crap. Yeah, we will get on to that, Adam. We will get on to that. Do you want to read the rest of them out there, Coof?
Okay, yeah, I'll go for that. So Spursy, evening mate. Just having a laugh at Arsenal, aren't we all? Continuing, Arsenal worse than Ardros today, and we're against Morecambe. Yeah, it's a bit salty, old Arsenal and Morecambe. Carl Simpson said, I second my previous message. We were still shit and loads need to be replaced, but Arsenal really know how to make me feel a little bit better. Yes, they do. Phil's, whoever this is, my wife told me to stop impersonating a flamingo. I had to put my foot down.
Can I just say that Phil does look a bit like a flamingo. He's on Start Miami Vice. He's just in the dip in the water.
It's one for the birds, that one. Tickled me pink.
One for the birds, yeah, I think it is.
Oh, God. Right, apologies, everyone. We're 4 minutes in and it's that vibe again.
You started it, mate. I'm just following your lead. Wayne Bonner saying, evening, gents. That was a tough watch today. There's a rumour Spurs will be sponsored by the NHS because they need to come with a health warning. Sorry, I'll just need to nip off for a second. Do you want to carry on, Phil?
Yeah.
I read them out. You just hit them there, Phil. I do it there.
Absolutely, Wayne. That was a tough watch. Whoa, yeah.
Yeah, it was. We've got Ryan McFarlane. Good evening, Ryan. Thank you for joining us. It says we need a lot of new players. This squad is tragic. Evening, gents. Yeah, that's something that we will be getting onto. We've got Ben Kaufman of our morning show. Good morning. Good evening, Ben. And Ben will be back with us tomorrow at 11:30 for coffee with Kaufman from his coffee shop. He says, shame about the Arsenal do. I didn't even know until I came on that we lost, so good on them and Arsenal going out. Yay! Right, that deserves a woohoo from you, Phil. Woohoo! Yeah, really terrifies them, that does. Scares them. Right, we've got Rebecca in the row. Good evening, Rebecca. Thank you for coming up. Good evening to you guys. Good evening, Rebecca. We have Barnabas. I love that name. I absolutely love that name. I think that's brilliant. Roma lost despite a 2-goal lead. Well, they got Josie in charge. What do you expect?
They lost 4-3 and they were 3-1 up at one point.
Yeah, well, that's a rosy. We've got Alexander Henderson. Was the 300 million in the Bahamas was used for his yacht? No, Alex. I can't go into too much details, but there is a lot happening behind the scenes. So, but once I can tell everyone, I will tell everyone. Go on, Coop. Do you want to read the rest of them now?
Okay. Wayne Bonner saying apparently search parties are being sent out to look for Arsenal as they got lost in the forest while hiking.
Oh, what a top goal!
Nice.
Hey, as much as it was for a good cause, that'll teach them for wearing white.
Oh dear. Stephen Cartwright saying, evening everyone. Evening, mate.
Evening, Stephen. Thank you for joining us.
Derek Hutchinson, evening, mate. Good evening, gentlemen. Low sick note. Ndombele Ali out ASAP.
Yes.
Got to agree.
There's nothing really there to discuss, is it? You're like, yep.
Add to the list of the other 12 that need to go or so.
Okay.
Cody Mack, this squad is pants.
Well, Cody, that's putting it politely. I could call it a lot worse.
Well, I'll tell you what then, Dermot. That's the end of the comments for now. I'll keep an eye on them.
Well, now Alex is back in.
Yeah. There's a lot coming in.
From Ricky
and Jens. Alex saying the Rodon and Tanganga are out. Yeah. I don't see them fitting the role somehow. Jens, evening, mate. Got there in the end, but some of his players should be sacked and given their BFH.
What's fair, hon? Used to be said in Bullseye.
It did.
Yeah.
I was thinking of some words that are a lot ruder.
I thought knowing Tottenham, it'll be a big fat handshake. Yeah.
And Cody, I did call the squad worse, but YouTube got my comment. I'll call it worse for you. Don't worry.
All right.
I will not be censored.
Go on then, Dermot. Let's introduce Dermot Unplugged. Let's go for it. I'll keep an eye on the comments, but
right. Today has been, for me, 5 years or 6 years or 20 years, whatever you like to call them, of showing how badly we've been run. Now, today the likes of Delhi, Tatanga, Mr. Burger King, Lo Celso, Winky, Dorothy, who I have said on this channel once or twice, I have stuck up for them. I will not stick up for them anymore. They all have to go. But you can blame the players all you want, and you can flog that horse. It's something we all know. The buck lies with Levy, Enoch. The buck stops with them wankering bastards who have taken our club apart bit by bit. Bill Nick built that house with a great team in the 60s. He took it on to the early team in the 70s. Keith Birkinshaw then had the great team in the early 80s. We had the great Steve Perriman on here the other night. Absolute legend of the club. And we got what that, Josh. They're Morecambe, for crying out loud. They're not Barcelona, they're not Real Madrid, they're Morecambe of League One. They're the worst team in League One. Now, you can say, which Cooper said to me privately is right, we didn't have a striker. I agree with that, and thinking back on it, Cooper was right. Dele Alli has reminded me of a palm tree. I mean, if he took root on the pitch, I think people would have put coconuts on his head. Gill needs beefing up, but I think he will get better. Mr. Burger King is so depressed he hasn't got any ketchup that he doesn't know what to do with himself anymore. But it still comes back to that man, the bald-headed little parasite that sits up in the boardroom, scratching his arse, scratching his head, wondering what I can do. He should have backed managers. Hitchin couldn't buy a baked bean properly. He's bought a rake of bad players. We had Poch. We were 5 years ago. Was it 5 years ago, lads?
Yeah, 16, 17. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were there or
We were
thereabouts.
second in the league, Champions League final. We should have built on that, but we didn't. I've had enough of this. Supporting Tottenham for 41 years. And what I didn't even watch the second half. I did not watch the second half because I couldn't be bothered. I'm done. I'm done with Delhi. I'm done with all them players. I'm done. I'm not done with the club because I love my club, but I'm done with the squad. And until something is sorted out, we're not going to win jack all. It's just not good enough. We've got a world-class manager and a numpty of a chairman. A bunch of monkeys could run our club better than Levy and Enid could. Let's bring in the jungle. I've had enough of it. I've had a back teeth of it. And if Levy's in the Bahamas, I want him putting in his resignation letter. Because I don't think he's going to back Conte during this transfer window. I've just got that gut-wrenching feeling. We're going for a Wolves player. Well, let's go for a 60 million, 70 million striker. Let's go for a top-end midfielder. Let's go for Rodon. Couldn't defend his way out of a maze if you put him in there. Tadanga, his confidence shot to pieces. You got Mr. Burger King in the midfield. I mean, Winks fell over the grass, tackled Winks. I mean, I don't know what was more painful, watching Winks fall over his own feet or the grass. I've just had enough. I've had a back full of it. And until we sort this out, until Levy puts his hands in the pocket, we're never going to change. It's not going to change. We need 12 players need to go. I can count 3 that I would keep in the squad. That's Luis, Kane and Son. Probably Mora as well. Or Gill. That's 5. The rest of them can pee off. I don't want to know.
Don't forget Mr. Romero.
Yeah, okay, that's 6. Okay.
But yeah, but the bottom line is you
and another thing,
quite happily culled
today,
2/3 of the squad, isn't it?
Yeah, hang on. Galini couldn't catch a cold. Couldn't catch a cold if it was chucked to them. I am fed up with this. I wouldn't watch Tottenham again on the TV if they were saying Tottenham's playing tomorrow night. I wouldn't watch them. I've just had enough, and I'm fed up with it now. I'm fed up to the back teeth. Until Levy and Enid go, that's it. They need to go. But the problem is with that, who do you bring in? Now, we're supposed to be 300 million. He's going to ask Joe Lewis to give to Conte. Conte will be gone by the summer, or by February, if he doesn't get what he wants. And then where are we then? Nowhere. I've just had enough, and I think now it's time we call a spade. If Conte doesn't get backed, I am actually going up to I get on the plane from Ireland, go over there, and I'll kick Levy out myself with Brian Daigle. Right, there you go, lads. Over to you now.
Okay.
Okay, well, where to start?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a drink after that now.
Let's bring up the mood a little bit straight away and just acknowledge the fact we're through and Arsenal aren't.
Third round.
Third round. That's who'd have seen that coming? No, we weren't great, Derek. Let's not beat around the bush. That first half was horrendous, but at the end of the day, we knew our second string players weren't good enough. So, you know, is it a case of just hanging tight because we know we've got to replace them? Are we going to do? That's more the question, I think. Just getting through, that was good enough for now. Just entirely disappointing display, and some players we already knew they weren't good enough. Perhaps some of the ones we thought were on the way back, like Winks. Could you say it was really good enough today? I didn't think so.
Can I just say something, Cooper? He had 5 minutes. He scored a goal. Wowee. Let's all go out and celebrate like it's the Green Jubilee or it's New Year's Eve. He's a championship player in a Premier League club.
Yeah, it may well be. We'll wait and see what January brings. Probably nothing, but what can you do? Do you want to do with a few comments, Phil?
I've just been sort of plugging them as they've come up. If I go back to some of the ones, I was trying to knock the flow, so I was just bringing the comments up. But Alex saying I was laughed by someone here that I compared Ericsson to Winks, but Winks controlled the game.
I don't know what game you're watching, Alexander, because Winks couldn't control a McDonald's tray coming out of Burger King. Serious to God.
Okay.
He was not good at all.
Sorry, Ben, Dermot Unplugged. This is going to be fun. Tune in next week for Kaufman and Coover's swearing jamboree. Yeah, maybe on the 11 o'clock show.
If anything
Stephen,
was to go by what happened when we come off air last week, that should have been on the show.
Stephen, who couldn't help being angry at the bad attitude displayed by Ndombele and others today? I'm just going to chuck my 2 penneth worth in. We obviously recently talked about this, guys. I'm going to be positive and say we won 3-1. We know that the players out there that let us down today, let us down the last time they played, they'll let us down the next time, and it's up to the big man to make the decisions and get shot of them. We are not going to be winning trophies and tournaments and stuff with the current crop of team. I think you're right, Dermot. I think possibly 9, maybe 10 players, give or take, is about the most that you'd want to be keeping in that squad. But the majority of that squad is either not good enough or is easy to upgrade. And and until we do that, we could pre-record this show for next week against Arsenal and Wednesday night against Chelsea, because we're going to be saying very similar things. The passion and commitment of the players isn't good enough. We haven't got the right players to be able to do what we want to do. I mean, we started today with no striker. You asked me earlier whether I blame Conte. You're like, yes, but who do you play as striker? Because if he played Kane and Kane got injured in the first 15 minutes, we'd have all been on his case going, he shouldn't play. And you're right, we should be able to beat Wickham with any set of 11 players that we put out. But we couldn't do that tonight. And we're all sat here thinking we could get 4th place. We could turn it around against Chelsea. We might get to an FA Cup. Anyway,
I'm not even guaranteed we can get top 6 the way we play with these players.
Yeah, the thing is, they're not our first choice 11 that started today, are they? So I don't see so much of an issue there. Our league form's been good.
Okay. Winks didn't come close to controlling the game today. Yeah. Dermot, you sound as angry as I am. Yeah.
I'm spitting blood.
Yeah. Chris.
Evening, Chris.
Gents. Good of you to join us, Chris. Thank you for that. Just while we're on that, if we could please ask everyone, and certainly our numbers are going up, so thank you to everyone joining us, but if we could ask you to both like and subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications. I know I was speaking to somebody just before the show and they had their notifications, so they knew. So it does work.
We also got a new link for the donation channel as well. To donate to the channel as well, haven't we? We've got a new link for that as well. We've sorted a few things out. Phil is going to make us a new intro. He's going to stick some music together. So things are happening. On this channel.
We're going all Hollywood.
We're going Hollywood. It's like a red carpet, and well, it'll be a blue carpet, but in true Hollywood style. All right, let's do a couple more of the comments before we get a little bit further. So, Aaron, hope the players laid into Ndombele in the dressing room after that. I have visions of Harry Kane pinning him up against the wall and giving him the hairdryer. Do you know what? I hope so, but more importantly, I wish Amazon were there filming it so that we have behind the scenes this season, because this is bad news now.
Do you know who I'd love to be let into the dressing room for them against them players? I fired up Roy Keane. No, I fired up Roy Keane. He would have been backwards and forwards and telling them what he really thinks of them.
Or a Brian Daigle.
I was going to say, or the Daigle master will be there.
Justified.
I'll still put in Roy Keane.
Just fly. Sorry, not justify. Just fly evening.
Good evening, sir.
Let's all take a minute to laugh at Arsenal. We probably should come here.
We certainly do. So, just on that, I missed the game. Who did Arsenal play today?
It must have been somebody really difficult because they got their pants thrashed off, didn't they? That's something to do with trees. Well, Nottingham Forest, was it?
The Sheriff of Nottingham came to town. They were obviously robbing.
That just shows.
We're moving on now very quickly.
I was right. Stephen Cartwright. Dermot Delhi has got a pineapple on his head.
No. He's a palm tree. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pineapple and palm trees. Yeah.
Pineapple. Yeah. Talking of Nottingham Forest, they used to have somebody labelled Pineapple Head, didn't they?
Jason Lee.
That's him. Andy James 63. Evening, mate.
Good evening.
Thanks so much.
One.
Yeah, absolutely. Brought in by the Stevie Perryman show. Yes. Thanks so much, fellas, for bringing Stevie Perryman on. It was pure bliss to recall some of my favourite moments as a Spurs lover. Absolutely, mate. We couldn't. I could have spoken to him for hours and hours longer if possible, but limited time, unfortunately. Yeah. Who knows? Perhaps we'll be able to get him on again sometime. It's possible. Just fly saying, FFS, I'll say, mate, get over it. We won. Replying to you, Dermot, I think.
We won. Yeah. Wow, we won against Morecambe, but it doesn't detract how bad the squad is. We should have been 3 or 4-0 up in the first half. This is Morecambe. Do you know? So who do you blame, Just Fly? Do you blame the players, or do you blame Conte, or do you blame Levy? Let us know in the comments where you stand. I would like to know. I know what you're saying, and I accept your comment, and I think it's, to be fair, you're right. We did win, but enough is enough. After that first half performance, I mean, Winks fell over his own feet. The grass tackled Winks. Come on. But let us know, Justify, where do you stand? Are you Levy in or Levy out? Just let us know, because I'd like to know in the comments where everyone stands in that as well. Just let us know. So thank you, Ethan, for coming by, and we welcome you to this great channel.
I think, to be fair, Just Fly didn't have so much of a problem with it, mate. So, yeah. Well, anyway, if people want to comment whether they think things go right or wrong,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's what
absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Ishak Taraftar.
Another new one. Good evening, sir.
Oh, I certainly recognise you from a few of the other channels, mate.
Yeah, same here.
Definitely in the Irish Hotspur chat group. So
indeed. He's in the Bahamas to try and get investment, Levy. Well, is he? We'll wait and see on that.
Well, he's supposed to be meeting 2 investors over there, one from China and one from America. So that's all I know at the moment. But
how that translates to funds for the team, though, remains to be seen. We'll see.
Yeah.
Derek Hutchinson
as well.
Yeah, Derek Hutchinson. We only have 8 players in the entire first team squad that are worth keeping. There's an awful lot of players to get rid of. It's going to take a long time to put this right. Yeah, I actually, personal feeling is we only have about 6, but it's debatable. We could go to 8, maybe. Yeah.
It could take up to 2 or 3 seasons to fix this whole squad. You may not even do it in 2 transfer windows.
Oh, certainly won't do it in 2. Yeah. No. Aaron Dove saying to Ishak, he's in the Bahamas laughing at us mugs. Yeah, that's another way of looking at it as well.
That's a scary thought, isn't it? The only thing I would say with Levy is I don't think he is, but there's a difference between laughing at us like, I'm totally screwing you over and I'm not doing the very best that I can for that football club. Big difference there.
It is indeed. Alex saying Hill had a good game. Yeah, in patches, I think. Not brilliant, but he did okay. Spurs Tottenham. Good evening, guys. Good evening, mate.
Good evening, Super Tottenham.
Good evening, Super Tottenham.
And Stephen Cartwright saying, if I was Conte, I'd tell Levy I don't want these players to come to my training sessions. That's going to be a bit hard because some of them you're going to need no matter what. Because what happens when we do get injuries, which we are surely going to.
Right, can I just justify here? Not once did I say it was Conte's fault. Conte can only pick for the players he's got in that awful squad. I'm blaming Levy, and I'm blaming the lack of investment for the last 20 years. That's who I'm blaming and putting the blame on. I've never said once Conte was the problem. I do agree with you. He's only been in the hot seat for 2 months. Give it a minute at least. Well, Levy needs to back him now and prove that we're going to go places, because he will walk. He will walk either in February or he will walk in the summer. Mark my words, he won't stick around if he's not going to get the money he was promised.
Scott M. Well said, Dermot. Sorry, Phil, do you want to talk to you?
No, I was just saying Scott was literally just well said, Dermot. So.
Alex saying we would have Ryan Mason next to Nagelsmann, however you want to pronounce it.
No, none of us would pick Nagelsmann over Conte, would we?
No.
Because again, if you bring another manager in and you don't fix the root cause, it's a pointless thought, isn't it?
Ryan Mason, though. No.
Look how long it took us to get a manager in the first place. We were a joke then. And that's Levy.
Fair enough. Barnabas saying Kulusevski is a decent player, nothing special. Where it's all
do you know much about him, you two? I've never heard of him, so
I've only sort of briefly looked at a few videos. I can't say I know too much about them. Didn't really stand out, not like some of the others we have been linked with, that's for sure. Stephen Cartwright saying, Dermot, are you joining the Brian Daigle fan club? I think he's already a paid up member.
I've been paid up for a long, long time. I really have. I've been paid up since the day he started. I was one of his founding members.
Jens, evening mate, saying smash and grab, ban.
Today's game, smash and grab.
Well, with the ban, no. Derek Hutchinson, play like that against Brighton and we'll be out. 100%. Yeah, for sure. If those group of players turns up again playing like that against Brighton, absolutely we will be going out.
Can I just say something to you two? It says a lot that we've missed Eric Dyer. I mean, it says a lot, doesn't it? That we actually missed Eric Dyer.
I mean, Eric Dyer wouldn't have played today, would he? Let's face it.
No, but I'm just saying.
Missed him against
on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm just making the point, Phil. On Tuesday, we've missed him.
Yeah.
That's the point I make. We really miss Eric Dyer in that defence. Him and the.
We do indeed. Aaron Dove, hello mate again. Less games for Goons in a season with fixture congestion will benefit them, unfortunately. But yeah, chuckling at the Goons. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That strengthens their push at a top four place.
What have they got? Literally 19 games left plus 2 in the League Cup. So we've got less than half a season. Whereas...
And we're going to have that extra 12 games on when we win our appeal and go for the quadruple on the...
Yeah, call's back on, you know. It's coming.
Yeah.
Alex saying... Sorry, Dermot.
Next season.
No, it's happening this season. Don't be so negative.
This season.
Alex saying Ryan Sessegnon should start more. I agree. He looks really good.
Do you know what? He's starting to look... and again, you can quote me on this as mine, but our left wing back is the only position where you, at this point, probably don't need to upgrade. I think you've got 2 people that are good enough at the moment. I'm not saying there's not better out there, but it's the only position for me where you wouldn't go and look at an upgrade.
I mean, he did tear up the German league when he went to Hoffenheim, so he is a good player. I think he's just been unlucky with injuries, I think, Sassy. So, but he played well on. When we've seen him, he has played well. Yeah, this is part of the Phil Littis fan club. This is his number one fan.
It's what the Hollywood draw does for you.
It does.
Adam Clark from our mate Adam, of course. I'm from Tottenham on tour, and congrats on the 2K subs. Our lack of depth is still killing us, without doubt. I think. Does anybody not agree with that? Be hard pressed to find someone.
We haven't got. I mean, I don't know what is it you that said earlier about our academy is one of the worst. Somebody said it this morning. You were telling me.
Oh yeah, it was one of the fans on earlier. I'm remembering who it was now. I'll have to look back at it. But they were saying about our academy is way behind some of the other clubs. They've been taking their son to these other academies, and they're way ahead of ours. Everton and Man City were the first two mentioned, but then also generally up north, they're a lot better. I wonder what the reason is for that. It's a strange one. But I said it would make quite a good it could make quite a good show to have them on at some point, and we'll discuss it all. So we'll look into that later. We could have a nice, interesting morning show, maybe, or whenever. Super Tottenham evening, mate. Why would Levy go to the Bahamas during January, during the transfer window, to speak to Joe Lewis about getting funds for Conte? This doesn't make sense because they should have been planned a month or two ago. Absolutely agree.
Yeah. Shocking.
Right. The reason he has gone is A, to talk to two investors. B, I think Joe Lewis is getting fed up with him. And I don't think I think Levy's had to go and explain himself what he's been doing. Do you know, we have Nuno out and gardening leave. We're still paying off. We're still paying off Mourinho, I think.
I thought Mourinho only took a salary until he got another job, so we didn't pay him for that long.
Was that?
Yeah, I'm sure by July he was at Roma, so he's off the books. But yeah, Nuno's still.
We're still paying Nuno. I think Hubert should have putting in his resignation letter and said, "I'm sorry, Joe Lewis, I fucked it up. Here's my letter of resignation. Bring in somebody who's actually going to do something properly." Because I think Levy is the problem. Levy is the main problem.
But he could eliminate himself from that problem very quickly by giving Paratici a budget and saying, "There you go, mate. You run the football side."
Yeah.
As much as it pains me to say, from the commercial side and from Tottenham Hotspur PLC, the part that I don't care about, we're in good hands with Levy there. When we talk about Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, we're in horrendous times.
We're
and you want a football manager or a football person running that business.
We're our absolute fucking shambles. The Teletubbies could run our club better than Levy could. Maybe some of the players playing on the pitch are part of the Teletubbies. Maybe Lala and whoever the rest of them are playing. Maybe Dele Alli and Co are the Teletubbies. But I'll tell you one thing. Something's got to give. Either he goes or somebody comes and buys the club. But then if somebody buys the club, we could be in a worse situation than we were. So it's sort of, what do you do? But Levy needs, if he doesn't do nothing this month, watch your back, Levy, because the fans will start chatting for you to go in the next games and games after that and games after that.
Chris saying, evening, Chris. Evening, lads. I'm glad I missed the game, but to be honest, watching the highlights, we need to get rid of the shit out of the club. Yeah, it's simple as that. Should send me in there. I would let them know. I'm sure he would, mate.
I'm sure he would, Chris.
If you choose to accept your mission, if you choose to accept it, is go and find Levy and tell him what you think.
Yeah, Chris is a legendary level ranter when it comes to Spurs. It's well worth a watch.
He's my mentor.
Yeah. Aaron Dub saying Robin Hood and the Merry Men. Yeah,
is that who Arsenal lost to? Because I don't know nothing about it, so all I know the rank. They lost to Forest. Oh, that's good.
Barnabas saying Delhi is an Omani date tree. Yeah. Actually, that is it, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's probably the most accurate one. Yeah. Rebecca saying 1-0 to Forest. Yeah, that was the.
Sorry, I've just seen the next comment from Aaron.
I need someone to cheer me up. Can you get Alex and Rebecca on to duet the steak song?
I bet at least 50% of those will be absolutely buzzing on that one. Maybe another time, Alex.
that's the Tottenham Tantrum After Dark sort of episode, isn't it? Ryan McFarlane, good of you to join us again, mate. Levy, the players are his cheap options that not many of the recent managers wanted. Get Levy and Enoch out for the better of the club. Yeah, I think most people are sort of leaning towards that idea. Well, are they? Are they? Certainly agreeing that it's the cheap options. Must be. Can't be sort of grade A quality, these ones. Adam saying, I'm still Levy out. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Can I ask you two a question? Actually, I would love to get your thoughts on this. If it was between an American owner and a Chinese owner, right? Who would you go for? Both, you could have more money with the Chinese owner, or you can have, say, little bit less money, but we turn this into a complete franchise. Who would you rather?
American.
Yeah, America. I do not want tie-ins with China.
No, I don't.
No, that's
who knows what would come out of that, and this is what worries me. You know, we all sit there and we're like Enoch and Levy and Enoch out, but we don't know what else is coming around the corner. And
yeah, can I ask you two another question? I'd love to get your thoughts on this as well. If Joe Lewis was to get rid of Levy, get him out, sack him, bring in another chairman, but he starts putting money into the football club, he gives Conte all the money he wants. Would you be happy with that? And then Tottenham were successful.
Well, yeah,
would you
of
still
course.
want Enoch? No, but would you still want, because of what's happened over the last 20 years? Would you forget everything that's happened?
You wouldn't forget it, but all we're interested in is success in the first team, and whether that's investment and that. If they decide they're going to spend 400 million this window and it cures all the problems and we start winning things, then you know what? You won't forget all of that's gone on, but it'll be onwards and upwards. And if we do end up with a quad this year or next year or whatever it's going to be, that's all we care about. Mm-hmm. We're very, all football fans are very fickle, and what they want is they want to be winning things.
Yeah, we haven't won the FA Cup for 30 years.
Yeah.
It says a lot, doesn't it? That just says everything you need to know in one.
I think that's the one that pains me the most, because that was our trophy.
Yeah. From 51 to 91, we won a trophy every decade. We won at least one or two trophies a decade.
Jens saying, and a rendition of "You're Only Here for the Alex." That was the bit that killed me off the other night.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Cody Mack, Levy out. He's a feeder club chairman. He's not equipped for big club behaviour. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Derek Hutchinson, blame everything on Levy, Enoch out.
Yeah.
Super Tottenham, Levy is to blame. He is in charge of players' signings and how much money is there is to spend, and most of the money is spent on a load of crap average players. Got to agree. He looks to buy cheap and sell at a profit all the time. We just end up with rubbish, don't we?
Just as a quick off-the-wall one, who's Levy's best ever signing?
Conte and Paratici.
Oh, yeah, well.
No, as genuinely, as a player, who's his best ever signing? I've got mine.
I'm struggling.
I'm gonna go. For me, I'm gonna go Luka Modric. It came out of the blue. It wasn't overly priced, and he was phenomenal. But how many of those have we had?
You can put a lot of thanks to how he developed to Harry Redknapp as well, as a coach. As well.
Yeah, got to give some credit to the coaches at the time as well. Yeah. You could argue Bale as well.
Yeah.
But again, if you think of the first 2 or 3 years, he was clearly bought as an investment, wasn't he?
Wasn't that not a Hitchin signing? Wasn't that the fella before Hitchin?
Well, it doesn't matter. We're just talking about under Levy's stewardship, aren't we?
But I'm just saying, Levy. Who was the director of football when Redknapp was in charge?
We didn't have one when Redknapp was in charge, did we?
I don't know, because who spent the Bale money? Was that Hitchin?
No, it was Baldini.
They wasted all that money, the Bale money.
Yeah, that's why I've always been.
Player out of that was Ericsson.
That's why I've always been reluctant with this whole nonsense about calling Paratici the Don, because we have been here before with Baldini. he was also referred to as the Don. It
Don
remains
of
to be seen.
The Don of the crap players, Baldini is.
Yeah, but I remember fans going mad over Baldini as well. Thought he was
Yeah.
going to bring us everything. Well, they did at the time, definitely. Anyway, remains to be seen. Paratici, hopefully, he does prove to be as good as his reputation is.
It's a wait and see, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's a wait and see, isn't it, really?
Well, yeah, definitely. You can't judge until they've actually done things. So, anyway, Scott M, good of you to join us, mate. We needed to start this remake 2 years ago, and instead he tried to take a shortcut with Jose. We are years behind where we need to be. I would actually argue this point. I think we started to do this remake about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It
should have been buying when we had the 2 transfer windows with no one. That was such an important time to invest. The first 11, 12 then were good, and it was a perfect time to bring extra in. Whereas now you're like, we need 5 or 6 for the first team and a reserve team. You're now talking mega money, and prices have gone up.
Phil, can you bring up So Spursy's comment before Scott ends? There. That's where we're heading. If we get no investment in January, and we still got the same squad for the summer, that's where we're heading. That could happen.
I think even with no investment, we'll still good for top 6. But again, you don't want to be risking that, do you? Scott M, blame Levy first, players second. Conte gets no blame for me.
No.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Conte gets no blame from me either. Not even for today.
So Spursy saying, is that really how you got Steve Perryman on? Great show. No, from the other night. No, it isn't. No.
It was a lot of talking between myself, and then I handed over Phil. He'd done the delicate contracts bits, and he was our director of football, and he brought it over the line.
Let's hope you're not talking about the same level of conversation there with that. That's euphemism. Aaron Dove saying, Scott M, your views on Moura aside from previous, what did you make of him today, mate? Interesting one. We'll come back to that, obviously. Yen saying Graban scored for Forest.
That makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Smash and grab. That'll be the headlines tomorrow, and you'll be. We saw it here last night. We have our own journalists.
Adam saying thanks, Cuba. Oh, that's for the 2K big up for their subscribers on Tottenham Talk. Absolutely exploded recently. They have.
Yeah. I mean,
brilliant.
Sorry to quote numbers on someone else's show, but Brian said to me they were 890 the week before Christmas, and now they've hit 2,000. And that's just phenomenal. So whatever, guys, Brian did tell me today, but whatever you're doing, you keep it going, because big up to you. You're doing a sterling job.
So it's a great show as well. So please go over and see our Tottenham on tour. If you haven't liked and subscribed to theirs already, please do so. Let's get them up to 5,000. Chris saying, "Don't get me in the same room as Levy. I'll get arrested." Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a few people
any of us
like
doubted that, are we?
No. All I'll say is we'll try and get that on stream if we can.
Yeah. And Phil will be your lawyer to get you out of the mess.
I don't think lawyers can help at that point. You're just going to fess up, aren't you?
I'd be better off being a priest.
Yeah. Certainly don't want to be on clean-up detail.
No. You'll be doing this, Phil, saying, "God bless you, my son, for doing the right thing."
Absolutely. Super Tottenham saying, it shows how much power Paratici has, which is nothing. Without Levy being there, not one player has been sold or signed. Levy still calls the shots. He does indeed.
And there's the blinking problem.
And it seems to be a lot of people keep ignoring that fact. The man with the checkbook is the one with the power.
It's what you said earlier, Cove, to me one day. Smoke and mirrors.
Adam saying Chinese owner as opposed to American owner. Really?
Why, Adam? Let us know why in the comments.
Is that because Phil said if they offer more money, maybe that could be a pulling point? Scott M saying to Aaron Duff, he was fine, did what was needed. By Lucas Moura must be.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a huge compliment from Scott. because Scott's usually 3 out of 10 if they only get 2 goals instead of a hat trick. Aaron Dove saying, Scott, go on, Scotty. Say he was good. Give him some cred, man. No, we're talking about Scott M here. It won't happen. If we win really well, he might do it. You never know. Adam saying, Modric or Bale.
I think this is where we're talking about like Enoch, great signings.
Great signs, yeah. They're the two that spring to mind. Otherwise, it's like, unexpected signings throughout the last, 30 odd years, and then you start looking at your Klinsmans and Berbatovs, that sort of ilk.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up this one from Super Tottenham. You're saying Van der Vaart, but again, did the Van der Vaart signing what made it so good? Apart from the fact he was an absolute phenomenon, the fact that he came in completely and utterly unannounced at 8 million or whatever it was very low. So there was, if his price was 25 million, would we still have signed Rafael Van der Vaart?
True.
Do you think we would?
No.
And that's
I think that's that.
Obviously, we bought Van der Vaart for like 8-9 million, which came out of nowhere. If his price was 25-30 million, would Levy have signed Van der Vaart? No.
He was a deadline day signing, by the way, for us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he was actually, to be correct, he was post deadline day, wasn't he? And somehow we got it through. But
that signing it makes me think of the sort of things that go on between directors at clubs or the chairman at clubs, because it's the sort of thing you'd imagine. Levy's in the Real Madrid office. Speaking, I've forgotten the name of their chairman now, Perez, isn't it? Speaking of Perez, and they're both having, let's say, coffee or something, and instead of saying, "Would you like a biscuit?" it's like, "Oh, by the way, would you like Van der Vaart to go with your coffee?" And it goes, "Who's that?" "Oh, 8 million, please." "Oh, don't mind if I do, thank you." It's like a little courtesy little player while you're negotiating on something else.
Is it like Cooper? Do you want one player or two with your tea?
Exactly.
And the thing there is, when we sold Bale and Modric, weren't we supposed to have a proper agreement with Real Madrid? Since Bale's gone there, who's come from Real Madrid to us?
No, it wasn't that sort of agreement. It was only on coaching terms and I think the promotional sort of terms as well. It's another one of those gets misreported sometimes, and then it's just what it is. A lot of misinformation goes around football at the best of times. But Aaron Dove saying, "Who needs a director of football when you have Harry Redknapp? Bungs and brown paper bags." Yeah.
Or don't with the great old days. You could go out in the morning as a football manager with £10 in your pocket, come home in the evening with 20 grand in your pocket. What a time.
Bungs and brown paper bags is also the name of a couple of Rooney's girlfriends.
Yeah. He met them down the bingo hall and all, didn't he?
Absolutely. Scott M saying to Aaron, he didn't change the game though, so why would I lie? It was Skip, Kane and Mora coming on. Mora certainly wasn't better than the other two. Yeah, it was a sort of combined effort. He just had that driving sort of pace and skill that they couldn't keep up with. I think he kind of stood out a little bit for that purpose. But yeah, it was the three of them together that certainly changed it.
But we shouldn't have needed to bring on them three players, though, to be fair.
No, we shouldn't have, but that's the way it is, isn't it?
I know it is, but we shouldn't have to do that.
No, agree.
They were lazy under Poch at the end, lazy under Mourinho, lazy under Nuno couldn't. Nuno was like a garden gnome, so you can understand the players being lazy under him, and lazy under Conte. When everyone going to wake up? It's the players, not the manager. It's the players and the idiot in the boardroom, not the manager.
You've got to also think a lot of these players now weren't there under Pochettino. It seems to be. It was an argument brought up. I'm trying to think which channel. It might have been on We Are Tottenham TV, is it? Or perhaps on David's channel on Irish Hotspur the other day. And say, is it just the players have things too easy for them, too cushy, a little bit too comfortable and on a plate? They don't have to work for it like they used to have to. Might have even come up in the chat with Steve Perryman as well, thinking about it. All far too easy and not enough effort going in when it should be. Because even in my days playing as an apprentice, you'd clean players' boots. the senior pros, you'd actually have to clean them. It all changed. None of that going on. You don't sort of learn your humility at the club first and earn your place. It's just sort of given to you. Yeah, Chris is saying, get me in the dressing room with those players. I would put them in their place and tell them they're a bunch of overpaid prima donnas.
I would pay the hitman a bit more money just to straighten them out a little bit.
Give them a workout. Yeah. Workout they won't forget.
Just tell
Adam,
them there's a hole in the corner of the dressing room. If you pay badly again, you're going in there with a horse's head next to their pillow.
That's the Italian way. Adam again from Tottenham on Tour. Simple. We'd get more money with a Chinese owner. Then again, the human rights issues would be very off-putting. I think there's going to be a lot more to it than that as well.
Yeah.
Depending on
do you
where.
Want to go a bit more into it, Koof? Just explain what you mean by that. Just quickly.
I would prefer not to without really doing a bit of more background reading on it, because I don't want to say something that is incorrect on it.
Yeah.
But my gut feeling is the holding company that would be doing the investment, if it's Chinese owned, we would have direct ties to the Chinese government then, and that becomes an awfully complicated situation, not one we would want to be in. But as I said, I don't want to go into that in too much detail in case I'm talking absolute nonsense. I need to read up on that. It's definitely an interesting conversation for another time though. Right, Shelfside Spurs and saying, I think Scott is now just a few steps away from a Mora tattoo. Absolutely.
I've got something here about tattoos. I said if Spurs win the you saw this. I think you were on the show when I put the comment on, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
To Mari's Love Lounge. I said if Tottenham win the FA Cup, I will get a tattoo of Mari's Love Lounge. Now in the 4th round.
Well, safe to say you ain't having any tattoo this season.
Yeah. Is that why you're so angry at the result today, Dermot?
Look, if they win and I have to get it done, I'll get it video done and I'll put it up on the channel, and I'll get it done the next day. So,
but you know it's got to be on your arse, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
We'll see.
That really would be the dark side of the moon.
Oh God. Yeah.
Move on very quickly move on.
That was a good song by Pink Floyd, where you actually, get Dark Side of the Moon. Or was that the name of the album?
You know where you get the O from Love Lounge, anyway. Moondog saying, good evening, Dermot, Phil and Coover. Good evening, mate. Good of you to join us again.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, my man.
Pink Floyd, was that the name of the album, Dark Side of
the
Moon?
Dark Side of the Moon, yeah.
Yeah, it was the album.
Fantastic album.
Yeah, it was fantastic album.
Spurs 72. On the bright side, I guess a good cup run is not for everyone. Like Arsenal.
Yeah.
Nice, interesting comment from So Spursy.
Hill out.
Don't
interesting.
Let's open that one up to the floor. What's your thoughts there, Dermot?
As David Hauser says, hey, we're all Believers. He's a believer.
Yeah, so what about you? What are you?
I'm leaning in all the way. He needs bulking up a bit, I'll admit that. He needs to put weights on. He could be the next Modric or Tuddle type player in that cam role. He's the future. Give the lad a chance. He's the future.
Okay. And a difference of opinion from me and Coover?
I'm a believer. I'm with Dave Harris, the big up Irish Hotspur. I am a believer.
I'm going to stay on the fence on him because he could go either way. But I think if he's going to be amazing, I think we would have seen more from him already before we even got hold of him. But who knows? Who knows? Players develop at different rates.
I certainly don't. I don't look at him and think he's anywhere near the Hoddle type. You don't hear any players or anyone in the footballing world talking of Hill at this stage. Too light, too fluffy at this point. Maybe a season away on loan or something might help him bulk up. I wouldn't say I'm definitely Hill out because there's obviously some potential there. But at this point, I am not very convinced at the moment. And he's getting no real time. So you ask the question, why is he getting no time?
But yeah. He's only a young lad. How old is he? 20? 19, 20?
Wayne Rooney had scored 50 goals for Man U by the
Well,
time he
he's
got
not
to
Wayne
20.
Rooney, Phil.
No,
he's,
but you're saying he's a young player, so you won't get time.
yeah,
If
but
you're good
Cooper,
enough, you get
as
time.
Cooper said, every player's developed differently. So just I give him time, but everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I respect everyone's opinion. And I respect Phil's opinion big time because he's a big man. He's Hollywood. He's right.
There's certainly something there. It's how well it's going to get developed.
Yeah, and I think Conte's the man to do it.
We won't know, but we'll until time elapses, will we? So
and then this will end up in a big punch up at the back of the pub afterwards, won't it, Phil?
Nah, it'll be fine.
Who's
Dombele?
Who's pub?
I'm not calling him Dombele anymore. I'm calling the Burger King man. That's his nickname now, the Burger King man.
I'd prefer to just call him Outgoing.
Yeah.
So suppose he's saying Outgoing looked like a bad pub player. Yeah, he did. He did. Well, in fact, not even that. Most pub players put in some effort.
We've got somebody that was at the game today as well.
So suppose he's saying Nuno in.
What is Spursy? Come on.
Maybe Garden Gnome sales have gone down. Maybe they need them on
I think Nuno in instead of Ndombele, maybe.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah.
Aaron Duff saying Hill out. That's daft.
I agree, Aaron.
Depends.
See the
I think a loan might do him a lot of good. We'll see. Brian Daigle, good evening, everyone. How are we?
Good evening, Mr. Her Majesty, Sir Brian Levy out Daigle.
It's like
congratulations
double
on
salute for what? Yeah.
Congratulations on your 2000. Yeah, that's incredible.
We can only dream of reaching 2000.
That's dreaming.
A pipe dream for us.
Well, Rebecca saying Cardiff City has a Malaysian owner, a Chinese owner would be great as they have big money to spend and will heavily invest in players. It's one of the sort of pros on the situation, isn't it? There's pros and cons from the way I'm looking at it. But as I said, I don't want to go into it too much now because I prefer to know exactly what the sort of rules and stipulations are and what comes with having Chinese ownership. I know there are definitely some big drawbacks.
But Newcastle fans didn't mind about Saudi Arabia coming in, and they lost yesterday. Newcastle, they're out of the cup. The richest championship team in history coming to you.
Dermot, can you read this one? Because I think this is written in your native
Absolutely.
Give the team some Jesus, lads. Give them some Jesus.
So that's obviously Brian Hill. Give the lads some time.
Yeah. Or give me some time.
Sorry, I've just read that one. That's quality.
Doherty still hasn't landed. Yeah. Can I just say, Doherty has become the first Irish man to attempt to land a ball on the moon. As we find, the landing of the ball should be in about 10 minutes time, and we'll have it here first. So, we'll get the red carpet out for Doherty and everything.
The moon? That's not a big enough target for him to hit. Scott M saying Hill needs a loan. Yeah, agree. Not good enough.
Right.
Sorry. Not good enough now, but could get good eventually. That's my feeling on it.
Do you think he's going to become another Skippy, put him out on loan for a year, and then get him the experience of playing week in, week out?
It's possible. I just don't see him developing very quickly at Spurs at the moment. Aaron's saying, Brian Daigle, all right, mates, good work on the 2K subs. Absolutely. Tottenham on tour flying.
Oh, great.
Yep, Graham, evening, lads, he says, and just come from the game, one of my most embarrassing afternoons. Levy out, Enoch out.
Well, on behalf of everyone in the chat, pretty much, big up to you, and verbally from the Daigle as well.
Just a big up to Graham there. Graham, can you let us know, were the fans booing Delhi and Mr. Burger King off, please? Could you let us know? Because I read somewhere they did. The boys weren't sure. So can you let us know if that was true, please?
So Spursy, we did win. What a sad vibe. Yes, odd, isn't it? We won, and people are angry and upset about it.
I think it's a matter of how
just
we
goes to
won
show
the
what
thing.
performance does matter.
Yeah.
It's not all about result.
No.
Adam saying, and on Burger King, indeed. And Super Tottenham, Delhi, and Doherty out. Yeah, I'm all for that.
Can I just add something to that just very quickly? Oh, sorry, I let you read these out. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go on if you've
No,
got
read
something.
this out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Graham saying, "Hi Brian, not in a good place." Yeah, I can imagine that. Traveling and then going to actually watch that on a home game.
I mean, if some of the players could see how this affects some people, their mental health and everything, maybe that should make them realise that wearing the shirt means more to the fans than it does to some of these players. And you seem to forget, players will come and go. It was something Steve Perryman said, Bill Nick. He said, I will go. You will all go. But then fans will be at it for the rest of their lives.
Indeed. I think
maybe it's something that we've lost somewhere along the line. We've lost the Bill Nick spirit in that club.
Without
I've said it before, and I think it's badly missed. And this is why I'm on about there should be statues of Bill Nick, Steve Perryman, Jimmy Greaves, Arthur Rowe, Danny Blanchflower, John White, Dave Mackay. Out there, that team.
Hollywood Phil.
Hollywood Phil,
about our history. Huh?
Hollywood Phil needs a statue as well.
Yeah, I'll put one right down the high road outside the. Is the Prince of Wales pub still down the high road?
Well, we need it somewhere next to the Tottenham on Tour shrine.
Yeah. Well, no. Brian's getting the statue next to Bill Nick. That's where Brian's statue's going.
Moondog a second ago was agreeing with my opinion.
We'll put Phil's next to Arthur Rowe. There you go. That'll keep him happy.
Moondog was of my opinion a minute ago that Doherty would miss the moon if he aimed for
I
it.
didn't mean to bring that one up. Sorry, Moondog.
It's all right, no problem.
Was he heading for Mars then? Was he?
I don't think he heads for anything.
Sorry, I did
he
have
might
that
hit
one
the
up.
International Space Station.
If he aims at anything, that thing, whatever he aims at, is going to be safe. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, Graham said not Delhi.
Is that in relation to when we asked about who was being booed to come off? So maybe
so it wasn't Delhi, so it must have been
Ndombele, I'd imagine. Yeah, I could imagine that.
Mr. Burger.
And then I'm just going to bring his other comment out before we go back up, but I'm an angry man. Yeah.
Don't blame me.
So was I when I came on.
I had the chance to go to the game today, and it's not very often, but I turned that down. I was just looking and thinking, do I really want to do all that travelling?
Do you know what, Phil? Next time we go to a game, you're going to have to do your recordings. We're going to have to do a watch along, and you report live from the stadium for the match, half time, and after the match. That's what we need to do the next time you go to a game, because I think that'd be brilliant.
All right, I'm going to do 2 comments from So Spursy, who's just saying, relax and meditate, my friend. We won. But yes, do you know what? That's absolutely factually correct. But I think it's the fact that it's highlighted so many more issues in there that's going on.
Ricky and then everyone's just saying, I don't. Where are you with the? Okay, yeah.
Super Tottenham saying, what's the point in signing these players if you're going to loan them out to gain experience? We need players to strengthen our first team now. Yeah, absolutely agree. I think Conte touched on this as well. Yeah. He was saying along the lines of, that's an academy over there. Buy me players for the first team. The academy is the ones you bring on and develop, not buying in the youngsters. What's the point in it?
There is no point whatsoever, lads. I mean, we should be buying players that are experienced and ready to play. Not it's just ridiculous.
It is. Yen saying congrats to Brian for the 2K as well. Moondog, to be fair, in 2 weeks' time, Doherty will be walking down the street and his shot will come back and hit him in the back of the head.
Is that the one from today or the one from Southampton?
I think when he was still at Wolves. We moving on, or so suppose
Well,
again.
the last one for a minute, and then
Okay, heard people saying Morecambe was a tough outfit today. They are car mechanics.
Yeah, I just got a few bits of Spurs news, lads, if you don't mind me reading them
yeah,
through.
Go for it,
yeah,
mate.
I've highlighted the
And
comments,
I
so I know
love the
where we got up
comments,
to.
everyone in the comments as well. I'm going to ask these sort of questions to Coover and Phil. So I'll start this first one for you, Coover, and then you can answer it, then Phil, and then the next one I'll go with you, Phil, and then Coover, backways. Right. Spurs have offered 15 million plus Tatanga to Juventus for Kulo Savivisky. The Italian club are intrigued by the offer but want a slightly higher fee. I'll start with you, Coover. What do you think to that?
And what a Tanganga for him.
Yeah, Tatanga, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm not overly enthused by him, but it's no point holding on to a player that we don't really think is going to fit the team. So, yeah, why not? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I'm not no great opinion, to be honest.
No. Phil?
It seems a fair chunk of money, but what you've got, if they're coming from the Italian league, they should be well known by both Paratici and Conte. And let's face it, from my point of view, Tanganga's not going to make it. He's not. When you look at those 6 central defenders that we have, I don't think any of us at the moment are sat there thinking Tanganga's the one to come in and play alongside Romero. He's for me, he's very disposable. So I'd take that deal if it was that simple.
Phil, I've got a bit of breaking news here from Sky Sports. Apparently, they broke yesterday that Kane will be rested tomorrow versus Morecambe. That's another bit of fake news from Sky Sports because Kane played today.
Well, I guess that was the plan because he was sat on the bench. But if your team that you put out isn't quite good enough, you have, as a manager, you have to react. So you ask the question, why? Why not? Well, who played striker today? We don't really know. So
I thought it was Gill, or Deli or Gill. Cooper thought it was no one, and Phil thought it was on. So
but again, Hill and Dele Alli are not strikers. They're not going to be someone who wins the ball, can do what Kane can do. So it needs replacing, and because
Sorry, Phil.
We say because they need replacing, it's the fault of whoever is in charge of buying players. Because who is Kane's backup or to play alongside him? We haven't got one. A young 17-year-old lad on the bench who's not quite ready for the Premier League yet.
Silence is golden, isn't it? That's a good song as well.
Yeah, we didn't just take a pause there, guys. We were just contemplating our thoughts.
That was a good 60s song. The Silence is golden. What a good song. That used to be played in Heartbeat years ago. Do you guys ever watch Heartbeat?
No.
Should get played at the Emirates, really.
Yeah. Well, apparently they've got apparently winning the FA Cup is it for everyone. So maybe they're just leaving it out this year, Arsenal. Good luck, bunch of scum. Right. Okay. Also, we had the Marine representatives there for today's match. Just a quick thing, just a bit on that. During the lockdown last year, Tottenham played Marine away, and I think we brought so many thousand fans with us, didn't we? We raised some sort of like 33 or 34,000 pounds, and we gave them all the gate receipts as well, because they were going bust, I think. So, big up for Tottenham for that. You have to say good things as well. Days ago, 12 months ago, Marine sold 33,000 tickets to our behind closed door game, third round tie, many of which was the purchase of Tottenham fans. So big up Spurs fans for that. That actually is Spurs news.
Not a lot there, is it?
Apparently, there's another bit here. Favanovic would love to play under Antonio Conte. We'll go and buy him then, for Christ's sake. That's it. I mean, there isn't much in the news anyway. Where are you lads on the transfer window at the moment? How's it been for you? Disappointing? Overwhelming? Pulled the hammer out?
the transfer window.
Yeah.
Is it
Is
started?
it open?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Somebody needs to tell Levy.
I was
Could
gonna leave that to-
probably use that for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not-
I think Levy thinks he's at play school. Do you remember? We looked through the square window today.
He
It's-
wouldn't look. He'd get
you know,
somebody,
despite
pay somebody
anyone-
to look through it.
Despite what anyone says, and I do agree, yes, it's early in the transfer window. Yes, it's early to buy in January, but not if you make proper offers and you get the players you want. We are seriously lacking in many areas, and you have to address that. And because they've left it, and they've left it, and they've left it, the likelihood is they are going to have to go in and have to probably pay over the odds. Now, you make a decision between do you do it in January or do you risk Conte walking and you wait till the summer?
As usual, we're not the only team that needs players, but you see the other teams that need players are signing them, and we're not.
Everton signed 2 defenders, for example.
Aston Villa are just about to sign the left back from Everton. Is it Dingy?
Yeah.
Dingy?
Are they
Yeah,
buying
yeah.
Coutinho as well?
He's there. So we're 8 days in, and we're desperate for players and haven't signed anyone, and they've picked out, a top left back and a playmaker.
Coutinho at our club would have been such a great little signing for us. It really would have been.
Well, it doesn't. It's not necessarily that it's Coutinho. It's just we needed somebody. We needed somebody immediately. We've
do you know
got to
the
strengthen these ranks.
Yeah, the biggest problem we can't sell the players we want to sell because nobody wants to buy them. So what do?
Cancel the contracts and just bin them off.
Yeah.
Dele Alli
You
cost
won't
us
do that.
$7.5 million a year. He's got 3 years left, so that's 20 million. Are we going to get 20 million for him in the transfer market?
No.
There or thereabouts. So you write the money off.
It's like he did the same thing Mike Ashley did at Newcastle. He gave long contracts and big money to players. Players then don't care. He did the same thing to the young players at Tottenham. Ali, Dyer, all them.
Yeah, because he
big
thought
contracts.
he thought he'd price them out of a move. He didn't for
Yeah.
1 minute contemplate that Dele Alli actually was never a great footballer or was a good footballer when he fitted in a system. And if you change the system or personnel, it highlights weaknesses. I honestly think if Dele Alli went on a free, I still think you'd struggle to sell him at the moment to anybody half decent. I would suggest your Brightons, your Evertons. Everton's at a push, but he's not the player they need.
The only team that will match his wages is Newcastle.
And they don't want him.
No. And that says a lot about Newcastle or Dele Alli, doesn't it, really?
It's going to be one of those ones where we'll have to pay half of his wages to go somewhere.
Yeah. So that's what you got to be negotiating, not trying to sell the club or do anything like that. You need to go because if they do sell the club this month, they've also got to realise that they're going to probably have to spend 300, 400, 500 million to replace the stuff that's in there. So once you bought it for 3.5 billion, and you've got another 500, you're actually talking about a 4 billion investment before you've even looked at anything.
Yeah.
So
right. Question to you two. Start with you, Phil. I'm going to shut my mouth for 5 minutes because I seem to be talking a lot, and you two haven't had a chance, so I apologise. But I'll start with you, Phil. You're both in charge of the transfers at Tottenham, right? Who would you move out? Who would you bring in? You've got 5 players out, 5 players in.
Well, I haven't done the scouting, but going out would be Doherty, Dele, and Ndombele, Lo Celso, and probably Tanganga. And then we need a good striker, a defensive midfielder, a playmaker, a right wing back, and a centre back. That's what we need. Now, you have to get the best you can on whatever budget that you're in, but you have to make an upgrade on the players we've got because the players we've got are not taking us to 4th spot or taking us to a championship next season. So all of those players need to improve or be improved upon before you even start looking around the fringes. And when we're talking about upgrading on a striker, at the moment we're asking them to upgrade on nothing because there is no other striker at Tottenham.
Good answer, Phil. Well done, man.
Okay.
Kuba?
Players out, I've got to agree with Phil there. It's the ones most people are going to pick now. So the ones that are complete misfits that just can't possibly fit the role Conte wants. Players in, you name it. There's so many you can choose from that are upgrades on what we've got. There's at the back. There's the likes of Botman and Brozovic playing a sort of defensive midfielder role, or even a box to box with him. There's your Barellas that are mentioned, your Vlahovic up front. All these players, this sort of caliber, it's a significant upgrade to the front first team for us. That could mean players like Ben Davies, he will still remain a club player, and he's plenty good enough to come in as backup and cover when we get injuries. But we will have an upgrade on him. We've got to raise the standard of the quality of the players we've got. So you've got to spend big for that. It's going to be very difficult to get them on frees. All these players like Coutinho mentioned and various others coming up as free transfers. A lot of them are on huge wages, and we're just not going to be paying that unless we shift a significant portion of what we were already doing.
Do you mind if I just read something to you? I've just ducked into. These are the players in order of their transfer market fee that are out of contract this summer. I'm just going to do the top 10 players. So these are people that you could be signing up now. So you've got Mbappe, Paul Pogba, Dybala, Kessie, Brozovic, Rudiger, Nicolas Souli, Andreas Christensen, Ousmane Dembele, just to pick 10 players all out of contract. So why can we not be doing some business now? If you're not spending 30, 40, 50 million, you can increase their wages or you can do something there. But players are out there, and there's players in that list that we've done that we could that would make our team and our squad a better squad.
No, for the TSG one is going to Real Madrid. That's where he's heading for. He won't come. None of them players will want to come to Tottenham because we're not in the Champions League, and we're nowhere near getting in the Champions League. There's so much pulling power Conte will have.
I guess it's just highlighting. We're saying that we haven't got masses of money and we haven't got this and we haven't got that. All those 10 players there are all free. This summer they're all free. If
you want them to come to the club, you've got to mount a big wage bill, a big wage to come, because they're not going to come to us because we're not in the Champions League.
But you're saving a massive transfer fee. So when we talk about transfer values, you're not just talking about the fee, you're talking about the salary, the signing on, everything that goes with it. It's all part of that figure.
Yeah. And them players, Phil, question to you, them players, which ones would realistically come to Tottenham?
Kessie, Dybala, Brozovic.
That's 3 out of that 10.
Yeah. Well, there you go. 3 quality players. Good
would those 3 make a monumental difference to Tottenham Hotspur Football Club this season? All day long.
You don't even need to ask me that because you know what I'm going to say.
But that's what, genuinely, you're like, would I want Pogba? Don't know, but Pogba did work under Conte, but I don't think he's the right fit for our club. And your Mbappe's got his sights set higher, but there's still players in there. Ousmane Dembele, don't know if I'd want him, but they're targetable. But are we targeting them?
If Keith Birkinshaw can bring Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa to the club, I think anything is possible. So
then Antonio Conte, with the facilities he's got, and living in London, he should be able to match some of that.
Yeah. There's a question here from Moondog. I want to ask you and Kuva. I'll start with you, Phil, with this. Question for the panel: do you think we'll actually buy any good players in this window, or get anyone in? Yes or no, Phil?
Yes, we will get players in. They won't be of the caliber we want or totally require. But I'm expecting 2, maybe 3. But I don't think they're going to blow us. I don't think Kessie or Vlahovic or anyone like that is coming anytime soon.
Okay. Kuva?
Buckle up and get ready for the next Louis Saha and Ryan Nelson. That's what I think. We'll just get some freebies, meaningless things. It'll be the usual. It always is. If the miracle happens and we somehow have this war chest, which I'm extremely doubtful of, it's not going to get used anyway. We might see all the way up until something like the 28th, 29th of the month. Then all suddenly Spurs move quickly to make one signing, so it looks like we've been trying. But it's the usual smoke and mirrors every season. I'm totally used to it. This is Daniel Levy all over.
It's the same old BS, isn't it, really? It is. I mean, Levy...
Brian Smith with for a Graham Roberts in that team.
Oh.
Do you know what? He'd be more than just a player for that mental ability to drive a team forward, because him and his team, same as Perryman and his team, it's 100% or nothing. There's none of this where we'll do 50 because the manager doesn't like me. None of that rubbish. It's
right. Do you know what I do, Phil? I stick you in the dressing room for 5 minutes before the game. I would stick Coover for 5 minutes before the game. Then I get Steve Perryman, Graham Roberts, Tony Galvin, Paul Miller, and somebody, them lot. Get them in the dressing room and pin every one of them players up against the wall. I really would.
They need something there.
If Graham Roberts and Steve Perryman went into that dressing room, guarantee you they'll be all needing a new pair of shorts.
There. We're just going to get to the end of the conversation, thanks to Graham. Phil, the word I'm looking for is scouting.
What did you say? Sorry, Phil?
The word I'm looking for is scouting. So when we're talking about the players out of contract and the players that we need, we should have a team that does the scouting. You know, we can't sit and wait for the papers to say, oh, Spurs are linked with Dave or Spurs are linked with Bob. You know, Spurs are linked with Jerry. You've got to go out there and you've got to go and do the scouting. You find the players. And the scouting part would come in that goes, we've got this guy, Tanguy Ndombele. He's absolutely phenomenal. I've watched him week after week. He's absolutely brilliant. He's well worth the money. I've done the psychological analysis on him, and no one would touch him with a barge pole. So what do you think we should do? Avoid. That's it. Then you don't make that mistake.
No, Steve Hitchen had a crap scouting network. That's
did
why
he have
it's
one?
taken longer. Huh?
I said, did he have one? Blimey, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
I thought he just went by the papers and then...
No, it was him and his dog. He sent his dog to a few games. It was 1 bark for a great player and 2 barks for a bad player.
Well, you can't really tell though, can you? Because he might well have scouted the same players, but if he's a yes man to Daniel Levy, then you don't look at the top of the list. You're looking at the bottom of the list to get the cheap options. The list is still there, though. I can't believe any top club has not got a scouting network that picks out the same players all over the world. They're going to be well aware of them.
It does. It comes back to the same thing over Levy, doesn't it? It all comes back to the same.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. Hitchin gets the flat for it, but it's if he's just a yes man to Levy, then you're going to get Daniel Levy's choice on a player. Yeah. The list is still the same.
Yeah. It all comes back, doesn't it? Every argument you have, it all comes back. All roads lead to the one person.
Because he's a control freak and he won't let anything go on. He won't do what he should do. Employ a football manager to run the football side of it, but you check every decision with me. So actually, what do we need Paratici for? You know, who negotiates the deal? Paratici's already said, if I see someone and I have to pay 1, 2, 3 million more, but they're going to improve our side, why not? Why not? It's the right thing. But anyway, right, do some of these comments because I'm getting frustrated with talking about him.
Sorry.
No, it's just because we unfortunately we'll go round in circles and not achieve anything. The buck starts and ends with Levy, and until Levy does something different, we're going to have the same conversation on the 1st of Feb. Then we're going to have the same conversation at the start of the June transfer window, and it will just continue. There has to be wholesale changes, and I don't know if he's capable of being able to do those. I don't know if he can relinquish any kind of control. It doesn't look like it can.
No.
Anyway, should we get on with these? Jens is saying to Aaron, agreed, mate, he needs a calm head next to him in the back line, which we haven't had since Jan and Toby.
It's got to be Tanganga, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Right.
Michael Bennett, evening, mate. Ali to Villa on loan. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Anything gets him out of the club, that's fine. Spurs 72 didn't read one of the comments correct at Moondog. My bad.
We
How far
we have special royalty in the house. Do.
Danny Kiriakou. I agree with Cody Mack 219. Coover 99. YWC. Yeah, well, there you go then. That's fine. I agree. I agree too. I can't remember what the comment was, but we'll.
Can I just say, Danny, it was a joy speaking to you and Cody Mack after our show on Friday. It was the best half an hour of my life. So thank you so much indeed. I had such a giggle in the back. It was brilliant. Some of the new songs we were coming up with.
Michael Bennett, evening, mate. These players don't care who would come back and bollock them. They still don't know, care, or realise that they are the issue. That's probably truth in that. Well, unfortunately, that we are that far adrift at the moment. Ben Kaufman saying the scouting at Tottenham is utterly pathetic. Yeah. Whether it's the scouting or what they do with the scouting reports, who knows? But there's something dreadfully wrong at the moment. Yeah.
And again, it's one of those that it all points to the same thing. Now we're sat here thinking it could be Hitchin. For all we know, Hitchin could be going along, I've secured a deal with Mbappe for 500k a week, but he'll bring this much revenue in, and it might be Levy goes, we don't pay 500k a week, we're not having him. And that could be the end of it. We don't know that. I'm doubting it, but we don't know. But either way, between Hitchin and Levy, there's an issue.
Yeah, it's like showing Levy a menu, isn't it? Yeah. Fresh lobster at the top, and he looks down the list. Pie and mash, that sounds all right.
I tell you one thing, our club's in a mess. It really is in turmoil, and it's and we all thought Sugar was bad. Sugar did a lot bad, but he did an awful lot of good too. He put his own money into the club. He didn't put the club into debt. He ran the club right as a business, but he put his own money into it. But I do blame him. He was the one that bought Enoch first back in '91 when they were available to buy the club. He brought them in.
Pros and cons with each ownership we've had for the last 50 years. If Shamu's saying, if I see us putting out a B team,
sorry,
that's okay. If I see us putting out a B team, I'm not going to bother. Woke up at 3 a.m. for that. It's shocking. On the other hand, Arsenal lost. Lol.
Yeah, well, with due respect, 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 o'clock in the morning. That's a proper Tottenham fan, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, big up to you, Shamu, but seriously, mate, that's some loyalty.
That's respect.
I'm thinking about getting up at 3 a.m. for the games now, so I can miss them.
Yeah.
Definitely. Big up, Shamu. Yeah. Aaron saying to Ben, yeah, mate, it's like they don't do a psychological assessment or background checks on these twonks, e.g. and Dombele. Absolutely agree. Moondog, I cannot understand why on earth you would get one of the top 3 coaches in and then don't just go out and get the players he wants. I'm sick and tired of this shite. Couldn't agree more. It's madness.
And nothing's going to change.
Absolute madness.
And that's the thing. Nothing will change.
Yeah, it's like getting Verstappen in and saying, "Oh, well, he can drive in the Ford Escort for this season." Yeah. Danny Kiriakou, that was hilarious. Dermot was brilliant, and I was agreeing about your comment about who will bring in utter crap.
Yeah,
we will if we bring in anybody at all. Might be time for difficult times at Spurs, and COVID has hit us very hard.
We've got no money because all that money that we've just invested from the NFL, that's all going back into the football club, didn't go back into the football club because I need another painting.
Can I
Shamu here with a very, very accurate comment.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, please be standing and get ready for the Brian Daigle chasing Levy on Tottenham show. on the 1st of February, struck at midnight. Brian was there with his pitchfork, his lantern, ready to roll.
I think we're going to need a few weighted blankets on Brian to keep him out of trouble that evening.
Breaking news from Sky Sports: Spurs in advanced talks to sign Mbappe, Dybala, and oh no, sorry, it's my alarm. Sorry, it's on the way
right.
up.
Phil,
Oh,
what have you been smoking? Can I ask what you've been smoking? Because I'll have some of that. Did you have some of them special biscuits?
What, smoking them? Yeah. I don't know how you smoke biscuits. Never mind.
I wasn't saying you
Shamu,
smoking
with a
the
great.
biscuits, it was eating them.
This is a very accurate comment. Tanganga has to go.
Yeah.
Rodon not good enough. Lo Celso overrated. Tanguy lost cause. Ali poser. That's the scouting report. That's all you need on those.
That is star comment of the show. That is star
and
comment.
you think how much? What's it called? Oh, you think how much money and weekly wages in there? I mean, where is it? Tanganga and Rodon probably 25 each. Lo Celso 150. Tanguy 200. That's 350. Ali 500. There's got to be over £500,000 a week in wages there. £500,000. Now you think that however much money you've got, if you're spending £500,000 a week, do you want better than that? And we're not going to answer that question properly because we both know the answer of what we want to that. But it's not that lot, is it?
No, it certainly isn't.
One for you, Dermot, just in case you know. Is Levy back yet, or is he still in there? Have we heard any reports to say he's back?
Yeah, I'm doing something. Yeah, I'll come back. Give me 2 minutes. I was just in a minute. Yeah, I'm just checking something out here, so give me 2 minutes.
All right. We'll jump on then, guys.
Shamu saying get up at 3 a.m. or close to it for most games. I've done for 10 years. Cost me sleep and probably girlfriends.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Stick with your girlfriends, mate. You've got more hope.
Can you put that comment back up? Because I have got a little bit of... Levy is not back yet. He's still in the Bahamas as far as I know. But what I do know, he's having a meeting with an American investor and a Chinese investor. One of them wants to buy the club. Now, I don't know which one is or who wants, but Lewis may be looking to sell now. This could be pie in the sky. This could be delaying tactics from Levy. Who knows? But he has to bring in investors apparently because we haven't got the money to buy anyone. And why? Because Levy is a dickhead. He couldn't run a brothel properly.
So, right. Dermot, we've got a very important one for you. Don't take your drink. Brace yourself.
I'm actually.
Is this a Flintstones question? Oh no, wait.
Okay.
No.
Dermot, would Lo Celso get into the Republic of Ireland team?
Just everyone knows I'm on Tipperary pure Irish water tonight, so everyone knows what I'm drinking.
Yeah, 80%.
Yeah.
How does your pure Irish water come out orange colour?
Because I put orange into it.
So
yeah,
would Lo Celso get into your era team?
Lo Celso won't get into the under-13s team.
There we go.
There we go, Derek. You heard it
enough.
First. What can't speak, can't lie.
Moondog saying, I'm so thankful that I was able to watch the Spurs in the 60s, 70s and 80s, so I got to see great players and trophies. I feel sorry for the youngsters who have only got to see the dross. Yeah, same, mate. Yeah. Same. Didn't get to see the 60s team or much of the 70s, but I certainly remember the 80s. It was fantastic. As a kid, seeing Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa getting signed, and then us to go on and win back-to-back FA Cups. Couple of years later, UEFA Cup. Amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing.
My Irish brothers really disagree with me here. My Irish brother, Dan Aaron.
Do you want to do this one, Phil?
Go on, Phil.
Why don't we all do it?
Okay, I can't sing.
Ready? Do Danny Kiriakou.
Danny Kiriakou. Okay.
We'll
See you very shortly.
I thought I'd get that bit in.
Dermot, love you, mate. Always in the know. On a plus, even though it was a fluke, at least we scored from a set piece. We did, yeah. Well, he hit it into the right area. That's what you're supposed to do.
Well,
You can
I
get that
give
sort of thing happen.
I will say 100% breaking news. Brian Daigle will go after Levy to buy something. That you could set your house on.
No, I think we'll come together and protect Brian from doing anything stupid.
Yeah, I think we will.
Might have to.
I'll sit in them. You tell him jokes and leave.
We'll drag him to the airport, getting back to Canada before he does something stupid or necessary. Aaron Dove saying Lascelles would walk into the current Irish side.
Sorry, Aaron, I disagree.
I don't think he can walk without getting injured, can he?
That's true.
I'm sorry. We're not that desperate for a crap player.
If Shamu saying if that's the water, Dermot, then don't drink it. Orange isn't the colour of water. That's a book, isn't it? Orange isn't the colour of water.
Yeah.
Pantera settings for Lascelles walk on home, boy.
What was that song we were listening to last night when we were trying to get new theme tunes for the channel? What was it? The Train?
Oh, I don't remember.
No.
All I remember is thinking the Dukes of Hazzard theme would be good for us.
Yeah.
Aaron Dove saying to Shamu, shush, don't tell him. Us Dubs keep clear water for ourselves and export the orange stuff to Wexford.
Now I know. Damn.
Ian Harper, hello, mate. Don't recognise the name. I'm assuming you're new to the channel. Thank you for joining us. Who has been your worst player that played for Spurs?
Ooh, that's a very good question.
I'm going to say if I'm talking defender, Gary Doherty, up front,
Doherty,
Postiga, midfield, Hossam Ghali.
Oh yeah, that's going to take some beating, Hossam Ghali.
Goalkeeper,
Ian Walker,
Barry Gaines,
Bobby Mims.
Oh, Bobby Mims, I agree with you there. No one can get worse than Bobby Mims.
So many Kerslake at right back.
Yeah.
And one of my personal favourite, well, there's Anthony Gardner at centre back. He was shocking.
I think the one we can all agree on that we all hate, that's played for Spurs, it's one called Judas.
He wasn't the worst though, just most
the worst
hated
player. Hated player, number one. Worst player,
we also used to have a player called Alton Thelwell. I think it was.
I'm sorry, I'm just reading Chris's comment at the bottom. It's so funny.
We'll get to that in a minute. Alton Thelwell. He played for us for about a dozen games or so, maybe more. Might have been getting on for 20 games or so under Eltel. He ever since he left us, he went down a division every year of his career for about 12 years. He was so bad, and yet he played a couple of dozen games for us Spurs. Unbelievable. Super Thomas.
I was actually ready to go Bobby Mims, the one Phil said for the midfield, and Jason Dazelle, like Danny said.
Oh, Dazelle as well. Yeah, bloody awful. The new Hoddle, as he was supposed to be. Jensen toss up between Mims and Tremazzani. Tremazzani was bloody awful as well. Vlad Kirikis says Shamu.
Oh, hang on. I've forgotten Raymond Vega.
He wasn't as bad as some of the others. He was bad, but he wasn't. Yeah, all right. He's worth a shout, isn't he? Chris Agomba, evening mate. Imagine if Levy did run a brothel instead of seeing Busty Betty. You would end up with I think it was Droopy Doris and still get charges category B. Still get charged category B prices. Droopy Doris sounds. Yeah, Levy. Anthony Gardner and Jason Dazelle said
Doris round to Deli's house tonight as a present to
Wayne Rooney would go for it still. Carl Simpson, remember lads, we took Andy Booth from Sheffield Wednesday one season. Yeah, awful. Andy Sinton as well. Alexander saying I'm back in caps.
Where did you go?
Doesn't matter. He's just back. He's found his way out of his cupboard. Yen saying David Kerslake and Kevin Scott.
On his
Kevin
on his
Scott.
Thomas the Tank Engine set.
Kevin Scott, John
Oh,
Scales,
Kevin Scott, he was useless.
Jason Cundy. Oh my God, we had an avalanche back then.
Did Jason Cundy play for us?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
He scored against Ipswich, didn't he, from his own half?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did that.
Then he went.
Pen-
Then we
it was,
sold
it
him
was,
to Chelsea.
yeah, I mean, it was genius, that goal. Nobody else could have picked that out.
That was luck.
Yeah, terrible play. Alex saying got his water. I hope it's nice and
Who was that
orange.
winger we had? That Portuguese winger. He played one good game for us. And we
Jose
never saw him.
Dominguez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
was
what
the
a
next
game.
Best. He was the next best thing, wasn't he?
Stuart Nethercott. Oh yes, these are the good old days. Yeah. Clinton and Jai, G or Njai. Anyway, does he even count as a player?
No.
I mean, did he even play a competitive game for us? I can't remember.
I don't. Alexander Hilton said I used my toothpick and my R2D2 to break out. Oh, Jesus.
He's out of the cupboard.
We're in trouble now.
Jason Cundy is the biggest tool going. Yeah, he is. Unfortunately, he keeps talking as well. That's what makes him the biggest tool going nowadays still. Derek Hutchins saying Laurie Brown.
Sorry, I've just jumped. Screen's jumped. Hang on. That was the one I was going for.
Phil, can you just put on the last one, just explain to people that if they want to donate, we have a new PayPal account that's we set up yesterday. So just quickly, if you can I bring it up and let you explain? Okay then, Phil, sorry.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's a new PayPal account under Tottenham Tantrum Gold. It's for anyone that wishes or would like to donate to the channel. Obviously, all money we use is to try and use for guests and to just try and improve the content and bring you, some better shows really. But obviously, it's not a must. If you'd like to, then great. If you don't, then please continue to enjoy our time together on screen.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Aaron says that link doesn't work to the PayPal. Right, okay.
All right, we'll look at it straight after then, guys.
Okay.
Carry on there.
Okay. Wayne Bonner with Nethercott, Raziak. Oh my God. And Kerslake. Dean Marnie. Yeah. I don't remember this guy. Laurie Brown.
I'm guessing that's either a late 60s or early 70s player, maybe.
Yeah. Wayne Bonner with Nkudu.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's right up there as well. Do you want me to do the comments for a while, Phil, or are you okay?
I'm fine, actually.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
There's obviously just a lot of names of our worst players coming in.
Yeah,
so.
Carl Simpson. So who was the South African defender? Mabizela, wasn't it? Mabizela.
Didn't he score a perler against Leicester?
Absolutely, all of the awful players do. They all got a banger against somebody. It's unreal, really is.
It was kind of up there with Wanyama against Liverpool sort of territory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Obviously not as good.
Timothea Tuba as well. That was another one. Scored an absolute belter. I'm trying to think who was against West Ham, was it?
No, Newcastle in the yellow kit.
That's right.
Killed it outside, cut in from left back and killed it out.
Eric Edmond against Liverpool.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 40 yards or something silly. Yeah, it just so many of them. Paul Staltieri.
Oh, West Ham.
That was West Ham, yeah. What's going on here? Well, we're still seeing out the others. Wayne Bonner, Vincent Janssen. Yeah, he was did much a disaster, wasn't he? Just couldn't get the grips of it at all. Soldado's got to get a mention.
The only thing I'm going to stick up for Soldado, he was a box striker, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That played in a pair, and we went, do you know what? Let's play you up front on your own, and see if we can get to the ball to you outside the area, and then wonder why you can't score goals.
And then pick some really average players to supply you with the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even give you wingers, give you inverted wingers, so you won't get any crosses. DeAndre Yedlin says Alex. Yeah, he was
Newcastle now, isn't he?
If he's playing at all, but yeah, he's. I think he is still at Newcastle. Lightning quick, but nothing else. Oh God, here's a name from the past.
Yeah.
Moondog with it. Milenko Asimovic. Yeah, he's one of those strange players that I think he was one of the ones Hoddle fancied, wasn't he? I know he wanted Bunjacevic. That's another one, by the way. There were some really weird ones that Hoddle liked the look of, but when they arrived, you couldn't see why. It was they were just awful. Atuba and Pamara. Yeah, definitely, right up there with some of the star quality bad signings. Sorry,
I just fixed the link.
I did. What was wrong, by the way?
Huh?
What was wrong, by the way?
I forgot to put the HTTP
line
and / start.
Derek Hutchinson, Paulinho, got to agree. Terrible player. I will never forget that incident with him and Adebayor when Paulinho had arrived and he was saying about he will die for this shirt. And I thought, oh great, we've got a really brave central midfielder in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few weeks later, facing a free kick, him and Adebayor in the wall, free kick gets taken and both of them turn their backs on it cowardly and duck out of the way and it flies into the net. And they just look at each other like, oh, weren't you supposed to stop that? And it's like, you die for the shirt, but you're scared of a bloody football.
I remember one game where he got clean through on the edge of the area. He almost tried doing it with the outside of the foot to put it in the top corner, and he did put it in the absolute top corner of the corner flag, didn't he?
That was one of his very last games, wasn't it?
Yeah. He was a nightmare, that player. He really was a nightmare.
Oh dear. Stamboli. Yeah. Who did we got him instead of who? Do you remember?
Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale.
He was one of the 7, wasn't he?
Mm. The only one that 7 that did any good was, and that's the new link again. I've just fixed it. Sorry, I do apologise, everyone, but that's the link again. Yeah. Eriksen's the only one out of that lot that did any good.
Well, kind of. We got some use out of Lamella. And Shadley did okay for us, I think. He was all right. I wouldn't say it was disastrous.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
How are we doing for time, lads? Because I know you're busy, Phil. You're going on to Talk and Ball.
I'm going on to Talk and Ball in a little bit. So.
Yeah. All right.
Should we just get through these comments as quick as we can then?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got very close then, but there we go. Well, yeah, we just another.
Okay, Alex saying Kirikes. Yeah, he was just awful. Loved the picture of him staggering out drunk though, and Fazio, he was awesome. He was amazing when he was in Spain, but he came to us and you wouldn't even think he was a footballer.
If you got to pop off, Phil, if you have to, we can go on for like 10 more minutes.
Aaron Dove saying certainly, sir, always welcome to Ben. Ben saying it to Aaron.
Sorry, that was the one I was looking for. What's your thoughts on that, on Chris Armstrong?
Useless. Absolute useless. He had one good season with Crystal Palace, and he was supposed to come in to replace Jurgen Klinsmann. Yeah, right.
He came and signed for the manager that turned down Dennis Bergkamp because he didn't know what he'd do with him.
I know.
That's all we really need to know about him.
Yeah. It really is.
Big choice hit. Sorry. Yeah.
Carter Vickers, yeah. The mysterious Carter Vickers. He's on the Spurs team sheet, but he never
I might
appears.
be related to him on my birth mother's side. There might be some.
Congratulations are in order, I feel.
Yeah. I wouldn't be announcing that anywhere public.
Yeah. John Lacey says Graham.
Oh,
yeah, certainly heard him mentioned a lot of times.
Yeah. I'm just going to pick up. This bit isn't quite true, but I think these two go together.
Where is Phil going?
To the local brothel.
No, he's not. He's going to your hotel.
Yeah.
For
he's going to party with R2D2
for free hot chocolate. for
Yeah.
Samoa, I hope, Ben.
Yeah.
Alex, in my team, Carter Vickers, I mean Danny. Oh yeah, and Danny Kiriako's dream team because
Yeah,
Alex did you proud there, mate.
yeah.
Right. Any more news for tonight, or do you call it a day?
Well, you're the news man,
the
aren't you?
newsman.
Well, the news is that we're going to call it a show. I want to thank everyone for coming in, and personally, I want to thank everyone for Friday night show. We couldn't have done the show without you. Please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and whatever you do, please share. This channel is nothing without the people that subscribe to us. We do these shows for you. But I want to personally thank everyone for the kind words, comments, and everything we've got over the weekend from Friday. It's all very kind of you. But I couldn't do the show without these two lads next to me. Phil, brilliant friend, Coover. They're not just co-hosts, they're best friends, and they're my very best friends. So I couldn't do it without them. So big up these two.
Oh, quit with all the mushy stuff and get off the drink, mate.
Yeah, Jesus, go and get a round of peanuts in or some pork scratchings, and let's just get another round in.
Right. Do you want to say anything about Friday? That thank people.
There is something very important. I think the fans and people coming onto the comment section need to know. Phil, any update on Adele joining us?
No. But I'm still. But I haven't been arrested. I have not been arrested for stalking. I tweeted again yesterday. So of our hundreds of people watching at the moment, if anyone knows Adele, has Adele's phone number or contact details, bring it in here. She's a Tottenham fan, and we would like to get her on the show.
We genuinely would, yeah.
Okay.
We really need someone like you.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
In the chat, right, for the next 4 minutes, right, we're trying to look for a new intro. We try and put a new song for an intro song for all our different shows we do on here. What song would you like us to put for the evening shows? Now we're looking at what? We're looking at Dukes of Hazzard.
No, the comment
message. Can't have that going out. I'm busy. Why do you think we didn't stream last night? Come on.
The clue is there. Hollywood Phil.
Right. Not the steak song. The steak song's having nothing to do with it. Right. We're looking at either the Dukes of Hazzard. What's the other one we were looking at last night?
The steak song.
No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
The Fall Guy.
That's it.
Yeah, we didn't want the Fall Guy for a theme tune. It was only because we like the startup sort of movie, wasn't it?
But In the Air Tonight would be a good one.
No. Dukes of Hazzard's definitely us.
Yeah. Really. No, The Professionals.
Oh, that was the other one as well. Yeah.
Oh, that was a great
right.
tune.
Do you want the Dukes of Hazzard or The Professionals as our intro song?
But just to make it clear, we haven't got any rights yet or copyright rights, so we just wondered what your thoughts are. But yeah, just pop your comments in, see what you think.
Just a couple of minutes. You've got a few minutes because we have to go off soon. But just a couple of minutes.
I'm actually looking to buy the rights to play the Dukes of Hazzard as our theme tune.
Wayne Bonner's put in the 80. That'd be brilliant.
I was thinking of that as well. Same sort of deal.
Would there ever be a team for you two, or?
You sound like one of the characters from the actual show.
Who does Phil?
Yeah, Hollywood Phil, B.A. Baracus.
No, he sounds like Face. He's like with all.
I could be Face. I quite liked his character.
I know who you two.
No, I think you should be B.A.
Although at the moment I'm probably Howling Mad Murdoch.
Now you're hitting a nail on the head.
That was my favourite. Best character in there by a mile.
Got Secret Squirrel.
Secret Squirrel?
Danger Mouse. There was another one.
Hang on a minute.
That'll be a great tune.
Captain
Oh
Pugwash.
yes,
Yeah, Captain
yes. That is the kind of tap we are aiming at.
Pugwash. No, I agree with Ben. We've got to play the role. I would say whiskey in a jar.
I'm absolutely 100% sold on Captain Pugwash now.
And I'd love to play it, but I presume I can't on here.
No,
But
you can't. No.
that was a
That was a banger. That was absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tune where we mean business.
Brian's theme tune would be Back to Black by AC/DC. My theme tune is going to be Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Is that the Banana Man was a cartoon character, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Jamie and his magic. Jamie and his magic.
Hang on a minute. We did think about that.
Yes.
It did come up last night.
Can I just say that's a song for Alex, the Benny Hill tune song. That's Alex, Jason and Randy's.
That's this show. That is
perfect. What about the drug song? Oh, hang on, where is it? The drugs one, which is Magic Roundabout.
That works too. Yeah.
You got the whole lot of Rosie.
How about Trumpton?
Oh, that was a great show. Pew
Farley McGrew,
Cuthbert
The Undertaker theme tune.
Sweeney.
That was a great TV.
Yeah, I can see that. See, we like the idea of the professionals, because on the video that goes with it, you've got the three of them down the side of the screen, and we put our faces on it. And put the unprofessionals.
Now, Carl Simpson's hit the nail on the head for me. Knight Rider.
The flumps.
Oh yeah, banana splits as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of with Banana Man, but Knight Rider.
Yeah, Knight Rider, because you could have the light going backwards and forwards across the bonnet with the amount of subscribers, 4 and back down to 0, up to 5.
See, we're just not a late night comedy show, us boys.
We care about our viewers.
Yeah,
I like that one. The Wombles.
The Wombles, definitely. You are Madame Cholet. Dermot, Madame Cholet, definitely.
Did you know that back in the early 90s that the Wombles agreed to do a record with Noel Gallagher?
Yeah,
that's true. That? It was called What's the Story, Tobermory. Oh,
the Wombles had the Christmas #1, didn't they? Yeah, I don't find it funny, Phil.
And on that note,
did one with Enya as well, didn't they? Yeah. Orinoco Flood.
What about that one? Thunderbirds.
That could work. Could work.
Be a good.
That'll be our countdown and everything, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. 5, 2, 4.
Then our face on the vehicles.
Yeah. Ben would be Miss Penelope. No, who was the driver for was it Penelope? Who was the driver?
Lady Penelope.
Yeah. Parker.
Yeah. I think Phil would be Thunderbird 1. I'd be Thunderbird 2. And Coover would be Thunderbird 3.
Which one's 3? I've forgotten. Is that the rocket?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Airwolf.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I don't remember the Street Hawk one, but I remember the Airwolf one.
Yeah. Do you remember the program where the fella used to turn into an animal?
Oh yeah, Manimal.
No, he's talking.
Yeah, it was Manimal. He came into a panther or something else, but he was definitely.
He what?
He became. Became into like a puma or a panther or something.
And
an owl.
Woohoo. Oh, can you imagine if you could get one of us to.
We've got this one from the Three Amigos.
Can't remember the theme, but it could work. And then flat caps instead of sombreros.
Or we could use erasers. Don't look back in anger if we've had a bad game.
Big up, Aaron. It was Manimal.
No, this one for me.
Thundercats. That could work. Work.
Wow.
Right.
So you can see where we're going with our thought process.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have to think about wrapping up, aren't we, lads?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for your comments.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning with Kaufman's morning show with me, Coover, and Ben. We're back tomorrow at 5:30 with another classic game. And then we've got a few things lined up this week. Very quickly, we're doing a watch along for the Chelsea game on Wednesday. And then we're doing a watch along for the Arsenal game on Sunday. And then we're doing a post-match reaction after. What's so funny, Phil?
No, it's just something that came up on emails. Fine.
Yeah, right, okay. Yeah, and so that's everything. Thank you all for watching. Were you going to be on later, Phil, very quickly in half an hour?
Yeah, talking ball at 10 o'clock. So come and follow the chat. Let's see if I can get my Barney, my Betty Rubble question in.
Yeah, and everyone, please like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Coover, what's the best thing to do? To share, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Sharing's everything. Sharing's caring.
And everything.
We could do the Care Bears just on that.
As we do the famous "Live Spurs and Prosperous," you'll never beat the Irish.